Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I will be predicting the main card fights for UFC on Fox, Lee versus Iaquinta 2. And right now it's looking like a 4-fight main card. You know, UFC is always adjusting things, so it might be a 5-fight, 6-fight main card. But right now it's saying a 4-fight main card. And if anything changes, it will most likely be like posted in my preliminary picks. And if it's not in my preliminary picks, it will be updated in the comment section below for this video, or for this main card prediction. It'll be updated on this video in the comment section below or in the description. So whatever the case is. So let's get right to our prediction. So in our first fight, we had on the main card, we have in the lightweight division a rematch, just like the main card. Just like the main event is a rematch. You got Jim Miller versus Charles Oliveira. So a rematch, and also in the lightweight division, just like the main card. So some similarities. So you got Jim Miller versus Charles Oliveira. I believe this was Charles Oliveira's UFC debut fight, and he fought Jim Miller, got submitted. And Kevin Lee's UFC debut fight was Iaquinta, so it's a rematch of old fights. I think Charles Oliveira fight versus Jim Miller was like basically 10 years ago. I don't know if it was 10 years. It was definitely close enough to be 10 years that fight would happen. It was a long time ago. I think maybe back 2009, 2008, a long time ago this fight happened. Maybe 2010, but still a very long time ago this fight happened. And these fights have changed a lot, but still not that much change. Because Charles Oliveira, he certainly has improved. His striking got a little bit better. He became more of a threat on the feet. His grappling got sharper. He became a real scary first round fighter for anybody. He can submit you real quick. He's gotten better, but he still has that mental issue where he kind of breaks. If he can't get you early, he kind of breaks most times. Unless he could keep, he's a front runner. If they start not going his way, he curls up and quits most times. You start to hit him too hard, he falls down. You can't get a submission on you, he curls up, you TKO him. It's like anytime things not going his way, he's instantly fades. Jim Miller, still Jim Miller. Only thing is he's getting older. He's not in a position where he was like one of those. He's not like a top 10 fighter anymore, like he was in the past. When that happened, he was not like riding a 8-fight winning streak or whatever he was riding like back then, or whatever he was in that position. He's still a very solid fighter. And when you look at the record, he might have been skidding a lot, but when you look at who he lost, like Poirier, Pettis, Michael Chiesa, Tornado. All these people are very game in the division right now. He hasn't lost anybody that's not game in the division. So it's kind of a toss-em-up fight. Will Charles Oliveira's early rush or his early attack be too much for Jim Miller to survive at this point in his career? Or will Jim Miller be able to survive, weather that storm, knowing he beat him before? Will he's grappling? Like how does the grappling match up now? I know Jim Miller's still very savvy in the grappling. He's not going to be like just get submitted by Charles Oliveira all easily. It's going to be a fight. It's not like Jim Miller just a shell of his former self. He's still very much game. It might not seem that way. So it's a toss-up fight in my opinion, but I'm not too sure which way to lean. But I was thinking I'm leaning to Charles Oliveira, but now I'm just going to lean to Jim Miller. I think Charles Oliveira definitely became dangerous, very dangerous at what he does. But it's a submission threat that great that's going to be an issue for Jim. I think Jim Miller is going to be able to defend his submission game. Jim Miller is still a very competent black belt and will be able to defend Charles Oliveira's submissions. And I think he will be able to take him to those later rounds and hurt Charles Oliveira, just like he did in the first fight. I don't think he was too late. It was like second round, and it wasn't really that competitive. But in this fight, it's going to be competitive because Charles Oliveira has gotten much better. Jim Miller has gotten a little bit better, but stayed mostly the same. But I think Jim Miller is going to be able to, weather the storm because, based off the style, Jim Miller does have that jiu-jitsu. He is that tough fighter. And he's going to be able to handle that early storm and take Charles Oliveira out of the first round, hurt him, and probably stop him. And as a matter of fact, I think he's going to submit him, actually hurt him and submit him. Survive the first round, probably give up that first round, but still be competitive. Second round, wear him on him. The third round, take him out. And I think not having this fight, Jim Miller via third round submission. So in this fight, again, Jim Miller via third round submission. Then on to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, Rob Font versus Sergio Pettis. So Sergio Pettis is coming up from the flyweight division, I guess because the flyweight division is getting removed. So you got to go to high ground, go to the next weight class you can. And he's coming to the bantamweight division. He wasn't here before, didn't really do too much at this division. I think he fought once or twice here and lost to Alex Caceres, but whatever the case is. He's back up at this division because he needs to be at this division because his division will no longer be. Against Rob Font. So Sergio Pettis, there's a lot to like about him. Then there's also some things to not like about him. He's very chinny. He doesn't have the best chin. He also seems to not have that, that winning mentality. Like sometimes when he's in fight, he doesn't do that. He sees that he's losing, but he won't change anything. He'll keep getting stuck in the cycle and just let the loss come to him instead of trying to find that will to win. Like he just gets stuck up and loses a decision and doesn't even really try. At some point it looked like sparring. Like against Cejudo, this looked like a sparring session. Against Formiga, looked like a sparring session. Like he just wasn't really even trying to do anything to win the fight. Once he realized it was like the momentum wasn't going his way, he didn't do anything to shift it. Like that's what he does in a lot of fights. And against Rob Font, well, let me go back to Sergio Pettis. Good striking, good technique. mentality just not there. He's chinny. I think it's Rafa. I think that's not the best style to be against Rafa. He definitely will have that speed advantage. He'll definitely have that technicality to him and stuff, and that can cause Rafa some issues. But I think Rafa's style just kind of poses like doesn't bode well for Sergio Pettis. Rafa would be the bigger fighter. He's a pretty big bantamweight. He has solid boxing. Boxing is the best style to touch somebody in the chin who's very chinny. He knows how to box, he knows how to find range, and he knows how to touch chinny fighters' chins. And that's like not a good style for Sergio Pettis. Sergio Pettis' best fight might have been somebody who could be technical but not really a power puncher, so that he could work with him. We got a fight like Rafa who's gonna be hitting you hard and hitting you accurate and hitting you sharp. It doesn't really bode well. I just think it's gonna be a good fight. Sergio Pettis is gonna be leading early, but once Rafa finds him, he's gonna find him. He's going to touch the chin, and probably it's going to be a TKO loss for Sergio Pettis. So in this fight, I think it's going to be in the second round, or about early in the second round. And I got Rafa via second round TKO. Now onto our co-main event, we have in the lightweight division, Edson Barboza versus Dan Hooker. So Edson Barboza, you know what he does. He's very fast, probably the fastest switch kick on the planet. Can switch it to your body in like a split second, like 0.002 seconds. Very fast with that switch kick, very fast with kicks in general, very explosive, very athletic. He's a human highlight reel. But when he's going back, he's really not that great. Not like 9 times out of 10, he's not that great going back. And like if you could pressure him, just about anybody can have their way with him on the feet. Because once he's going back, he's really not in a position to counter. When he's moving sideways, he's not in a position to counter. So you just put pressure on him, and a lot of his attack goes out of the window. Kind of like an RDA, but even worse than RDA in ways. Because RDA at least has takedown defense and all this other stuff, and can knock. He's not a fighter that will break, but this is more so about Edson Barboza. He kind of just becomes much less going backwards than he is going forward. When he's going forward, he's a killer. But Dan Hooker, he's going to be taller than Edson Barboza by a good bit. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", and Barboza's like 5'11", so he might have at least 2 inches of height on him, and he fights long. He has those knees when you're trying to come in on him. He does those teep kicks. He's training with Israel Adesanya, so he's getting all this good training. And so he's going to be, I guess, have a good look for a striker, and he's going to have a good striking, somebody in his ear that's going to give him some good striking tips. And I know he's already seen how Edson Barboza's lost. He's going to be able to back him up, use that range, be able to counter Edson Barboza because he don't have that reach and he don't know how to use that counter. He's not a big, tall fighter that doesn't know how to fight tall. So he's going to be able to counter Edson Barboza. Though Edson Barboza's fast, he will be the shorter fighter and will have to commit more to land those shots. And Dan Hooker's going to be in a perfect position to counter those shots. And he's going to know to push him back. So he's going to be able to push him back, and it's going to be easy for him to counter those shots. The leg kicks might be open because he's going to be the taller fighter. But, for Barboza, because he got that big tree in front of him. But when you get him punched with a straight in the face when you try to land a kick, that's going to lead to you getting knocked out. But really, I just think it's going to be Dan Hooker pushing Barboza back, countering Barboza's strikes, and just wearing on him, just tagging him, and just using that reach to his advantage, using all his skill, like all the things he has to his advantage to whoop on Barboza. But I think Barboza would definitely be game. But I think it's just going to be Dan Hooker's fight. And I think he's actually going to stop him via third round submission, in my opinion. I think he's going to bust him up on the feet. Barboza's going to try to, I guess, mix in some grappling once it's like not going his way. And Dan Hooker's going to get that guillotine on him in the third round. So in this fight, I got Dan Hooker via third round submission. Now on to our main event. We have in the lightweight division, Kevin Lee versus Iaquinta 2, the rematch. So in the first fight, I'm looking at the stats. I don't remember being this one-sided. I remember Kevin Lee being able to get Iaquinta down relatively easily. Not easily, but he was able to get him down. It wasn't like too much of a struggle. But looking at stats, it was like 1-8. But I still think he'll be able to get him down. But like as far as first fight, what I remember most is like Iaquinta definitely been the better striker, out striking him. But when Kevin Lee got him down, he was able to get to his back with relative ease. He still showed, he showed the template or show who he will go on to become in the division. Like great takedown offense, great transitions. Was able to get to Iaquinta's back very easily. The only issue back then was that he wasn't able to really sink in the hooks and go for the choke. I think he went and burned his leg out on going like with the body triangle. I think he burned his leg out with those hooks, the body triangle, while he was going for the guillotine and wasn't able to get it. Iaquinta fought it pretty well, and Kevin Lee just wasn't able to get that submission. And I think going into the third round, he was just burned out, and Iaquinta just took him apart. So he won the first round. Iaquinta won the first round. Lee won the second round, and then Iaquinta just took advantage of Kevin Lee being burned out in the third round, just coasted to a decision. But I think in this fight, Kevin Lee's gotten at least a little bit smarter with his conditioning. He's a much more improved fighter. Still some of the same issues, but I think he definitely proved that he can go all 5 rounds, go hard, pushing that pace. And he's not going to necessarily be going so hard for the submission once he gets it. He's going to be working until maybe Iaquinta presents it to him instead of just trying to force things to happen. And I think his striking has improved as well. I think Iaquinta's still the better striker, but I think Kevin Lee's going to be the strike with him and not get outstruck by him by such a large margin and make it a competitive fight. So when he switches up those takedowns, switches in those takedowns or mixes in those takedowns, he's going to be able to have a higher takedown accuracy. And once he gets you down, he's gonna put on some what's it called? He's gonna put on have you pressure, put on some ground and pound, put that pace on you, put that pressure and pace on you that he's known for. Put some transition there. And Iaquinta's not he's not no Conor McGregor. He's very good on the ground. He comes from a gym, Serra-Longo, that's prides himself in having good jiu-jitsu. He's one of their best, one of the people that handles himself best in the grappling aspects. He might not be no submission artist, but he can hold his own. But to sum this video up and come up to the conclusion of this fight prediction, I think Iaquinta is very confident on the ground. This will be a very tough fight. It's not an easy fight to pick because Iaquinta is so sound. He has such good jiu-jitsu and such, he's very good, all around. He's not good offensively and defense with it. So it's not going to be like some easy fight where he can just take him down. It's going to be the same thing over and over. It's going to be a hard fight. And Kevin Lee's going to have to fight in this fight. But I think Kevin Lee just made a lot of improvements, and I think he's made more improvements than Iaquinta and he actually seen what Khabib did to Iaquinta. So he'll be able to do similar things to him. I think he's going to outdo what Khabib did. It will be competitive. Khabib, he probably will have more success on the feet against Kevin Lee than he had against he did against Khabib, but on the ground, once Kevin Lee gets those opportunities, I think he's going to take full advantage of them. He's going to be piecing them up. It's probably going to be a stoppage around in the third. I think Kevin Lee's just much more active on the ground and much more destructive on the ground than Khabib is in reality. I think his transitions are better. It's not even a think actually stats-wise. His transitions are much better than Khabib, and his ground and pound rate is much higher than Khabib's. I think it's going to be one of those things where Iaquinta's going to be game. It's going to be competitive. But I think Kevin Lee's going to start to break away with those takedowns. Going to start to wear on him. He's going to wear on Iaquinta. And then Kevin Lee's ground and pound is going to be at such a rate. It might not be like he knocked Iaquinta out or Iaquinta just quit. It's going to be that the amount of ground and pound he's going to be dropping on on Iaquinta. And the amount of, it's just going to cause the ref to have to stop. The ref is going to have to come in and stop the fight. Iaquinta will be one to be game, be fighting. He'll be like, why you stop the fight? But Kevin Lee just going to be dropping so much hard ground and pound on him that the ref is not going to have seen enough and is going to have to stop the fight. So I think in this fight, competitive fight, but I got Kevin Lee via third round TKO. So in this fight, again, Kevin Lee via third round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for UFC on Fox, Lee versus Iaquinta 2. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.